Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome back to our channel today. It's good to have you, and as always, welcome back to our subscribers. It's great to have you here, and if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for that very first time, hey, welcome as well, and please, consider hitting that subscribe button, hit the like button, consider becoming a member, and then to learn more about me and my company and additional ways where you can save money and cut cost, check out the links below, for additional information. So with that said, let's get into our topic here today, and this is, 10 common gym sales excuses that need to stop. 10 common gym sales excuses that need to stop, okay? And, before we jump into this, a number of years back, I had written an article, I think it might have been in Club Industry Magazine where that was published. I have to go back and look, but you could probably find it online. But it was Death of a Gym Salesperson. Death of a Gym Salesperson. And really what we talked about in that article was all the things that we do that kind of kill us in our business. That kind of kill us in our approach to sales, and it's good people that should do well that they don't all of a sudden, and these are all the things that they do. Okay, and so much of this, when we get into these excuses, it's all about pointing a finger at somebody else, because at the end of the day, we want to be accountable. Okay, you're the only thing you have 100% control over. Okay, because everything we're going to go through here, and we're going to talk about these excuses, these are either giant problems or they're giant opportunities. Okay, when we make it that excuse, it turns into a problem. We start placing that blame, and we lose our power to change. I mean, this is what happens to us. Okay, so let's focus on, hey, there's a big opportunity here. Let's take a look at it, because a lot of people are doing this. For you, that's great, because it creates more opportunity for you if we change how we think. Let's talk about it. Number one, the leads are terrible. The leads are terrible. Okay. Well, first of all, let's kind of just talk about leads for a second. Now, I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to kind of go back and tell a story. This was back in the day when I was new at sales, but I wasn't brand new. I was new, but I was doing very well. And for those of you that know my background and my story, I had memorized a book that was about this thick. It was a 3-ring binder on sales and sales process and how to do all this, and I memorized it. And almost instantaneously, I was number 1 in sales out of 4 clubs. I was doing well. Sales became kind of simple, became kind of easy. And I'll never forget, I was up at the front desk one evening, and there was like 3 or 4 or 5 other salespeople up there. And they were all complaining about how the leads are no good, they're getting all these objections, people aren't really interested. And I was just listening thinking, wow, none of that's happening to me. All these people are so interested, and it really has not been that difficult. I started to think, well, man, I'm just super lucky here. Man, I'm afraid my luck's going to run out one day. I'm going to be in with you guys. And then I realized that, hey, the reason that I'm so lucky, if you will, okay, was because I was following the process the way it laid out. I was just following. I wasn't winging anything. I wasn't going off on different directions. I followed the process. And you know what? It worked. And when people start talking about the leads are terrible, it's always the first thing I think about was my specific situation. Everybody else was struggling. I wasn't. And I never really saw myself as anything special. I just memorized it and did it. That was all. I mean, nothing fancy, okay? But no one else did that. They would just wing it, okay? And so when you start thinking leads are terrible, let's get some training, okay? But also, in getting a little more specific on these leads, it's our job to provide value. It's our job to solve problems. It's our job to provide solutions. Just know that's what it is. And depending on where they're at in the buying process, I mean, if they're way over here, they're on the cold side, we got to work them all over here. Because when most people talk about the leads are terrible, what they're really saying is, well, they don't want to buy now. Well, okay, that's why we have you. What's funny, I don't want to get too far off my top 10 here. But, I get into training classes, whether it be, on the phone or, in person, and I'll always ask, hey, what's working well, what's not? And one of the common things that I get in terms of what's not working well, Jim, I'm getting all these objections. I'm getting all these objections. That's what's not working. And I listen to them and I kind of pause and I say, well, to me, that's what is working. That's not working. It's what is working. Okay. And the reason I say that, if you weren't getting these objections, your gym wouldn't need you. They wouldn't need you. They just, let technology do all the work. Okay. So you're going to get them. And it's up to us to be prepared. This goes back to the process and the system. Okay. Number two, kind of going off that same thing, these leads are not ready to buy. And, if they're ready to buy, we can just send them to a kiosk. We can just send them to a tablet. Customer comes in, they've been in the club before. Hey, Mary, welcome back. It's good to have you. Do you have enough information to go ahead and make a decision on membership? Yeah, I think I do. I think I'm ready to get started. Great. And, we take them over to the kiosk. If they're all ready to buy, you're not needed. Okay. And so just because they're not ready to buy doesn't mean they won't. Okay. It's up to us to build value, because when value exceeds price, people will buy. When value exceeds price, people will buy. And just know that that's our job. Build that value, solve the problem, provide the solution. Sometimes you can do it right now, sometimes it's going to take a while, but that's what you're trying to do here. Okay, and stay after it, because most follow-up, most clubs do a pretty poor job of it. 0 to 3 calls maybe, and probably it's going to take 12 to 15. Okay, number 3, they can't afford it. They can't afford it. And certainly you can get creative and have price-sensitive membership options where it's non-prime memberships, alternate day memberships, weekend-only memberships, corporate memberships. Those are all things you can do adjusting price. But when people can't afford it, when they say, I can't afford it, they give you that price objection. The way I've always looked at that is what the customer is really telling you is, based on what you want to charge me, I don't think it's worth it. Based on what you want to charge me, I don't think it's worth it. And so again, it goes back to the same thing. Did we do a good enough job to establish value? Don't make it about the customer saying they can't afford it. Make it about us. What did we do to establish value here? How did we show the customer that we can solve their problem? How do we provide a solution for them? And you can check other videos here. You can search other videos here on the channel on how to provide value, how to solve problems, and how to do some of that. But that's the answer to that. Don't make it about the customer. Don't give your customer that power. Because I promise you, if they wanted to do it, they would. But they're only going to do it if value exceeds the price. Number 4, they're happy with their current gym. They're happy with their current gym. Okay? Well, boy, there's a lot you could talk about here. Boy, given some of the prices out there, it's not unusual. I see it frequently where folks might have 2 or 3 or 4 memberships. Okay, it's an easy thing to do in many cases. Sometimes they'll have the big box membership, and then they got a membership at a private training studio, because that's where they get their private training at. Okay, so there's a lot of options there. But here's the thing. We want to continue providing value. So say you've got someone you're following up on. You call them up, and they go, oh, Jim, I joined at such and such a place. Okay, well, first of all, I'm glad you made a decision to do something. Second of all, I wish it would have been with me, okay? But here's what I'd like to do. Let me do your first workout for you. Let me do your first workout for you. Because how many gyms that they join, they're not going to get a first workout done. How many of them, no one's going to call them back if they're not using it. No one's going to stay in touch. This is going to happen in a lot of places. Even though the person is not a member at your place, what if you offer to do the first workout? What if you're following up to see if they're sticking with it? Don't give up on them. Keep providing value. Keep providing value. You'll get them. You'll get them. I mean, attrition rates, I see attrition rates between, 40, 50, 60%, 70% annually. So a lot of these clubs, there's a big churn. So if they're going to leave, they might be happy now or think they're happy. Let's make sure they think about you when that time comes in to make a change. Number 5, common sales excuses. The economy is weak. Again, it's either a problem or it's an opportunity, right? What happens if people start to think the economy is weak? We quit marketing, we quit promoting, we quit working as hard because, the economy's weak. if they're going to do that, where's the opportunity for you? Advance and expand into the marketplace. Get known by more people. Okay? People are still going to buy. Okay? If the economy is weak, they'll probably avoid the big ticket items. Maybe they don't buy the beach house. Maybe they don't buy the boat. Maybe they buy a membership so the family can work out together. Okay? But when you hear things like this, it's either an opportunity or it's a problem. Look at it as an opportunity, then what steps can you take? If everybody else is in retreat, you want to advance and expand. This is how you start to dominate a marketplace. Okay. Number 6, the customer is not ready to make a decision. Okay, the customer is not ready to make a decision. Now, one of the simple things that I would talk about here is on any kind of a sales process, we want to have some kind of a call to action, some kind of a reason to do it now. Okay, I think most salespeople, ones that I talk to, it's one of the things that they kind of crave a little bit. Hey, what can I say to get them to do it today? Okay, and that's where we start using our love at first sight certificate and things like this. But if they're not ready to make a decision today, we take it back and look at that tour. Okay, maybe what questions can we ask on that tour that are a little bit different that would kind of overcome these objections before they come up. Okay, but get yourself a call to action. Be one of the first things I would probably do on that. It'll give your sales team usually a fair amount of confidence to really ask for that sale. But then also when we're talking to our customer on the tour, talk about, hey, when's the last time you're in the best shape of your life? Well, it's probably been 10 years. What were you doing then that you're not doing now? Okay, what's it going to take to get you there? They'll tell you what needs to happen. Okay, but at the end of the day, if the customer is not buying, more often than not, what they're telling you is based on what you want to charge me, I don't think it's worth it. Okay, number 7, no one is getting back to me. Okay, we're doing prospecting, doing phone calls. No one is getting back to me. Now, again, just know every call you make sure you're providing value. If every call is nothing but, hey, do you want to buy? Do you want to buy? Do you want to buy? Technology can do that. Okay, we want to nurture all of our leads. We want to maintain interest. We want to maintain desire. Okay, and we want to come up with ways to create calls to action. I can give you an example of one of the things that we've done in many cases is, I'm calling up Mary, and I'll say, Mary, I'm going to tell my story quickly, and I'm going to say, I'll be available to take your call today between 3:30 and 6:15. If you can call me back between 3:30 and 6:15, I'll be available. My number is 555-1212. We've seen some exponential growth in return calls because we gave them a timeline. One of the biggest mistakes I see on that is when we say, hey, no one's getting back to me. Hey, I'll be here all day. Just give me a call. There's no urgency to that. You got to create some urgency in there. Number 8, no one knows who we are. No one knows who we are. Is that an issue? Sure it is. Okay. I mean, the number one problem that really most any independent business has is no one knows who you are, and those that do don't have you at top of mind. And so what do we do to get known? Because the reality is, this is an obvious thing, right? But people can't do business with you if they don't know who you are. I was talking to a gym owner at one point. He was a client for quite some time, and he had called up and he said, hey, Jim, I've been going back and forth to your website every day for the last month, but I'm ready to go ahead and get started. And I said, great, happy to have you. We can help take your business to that next level. Tell me, what finally made you decide you're ready to get started? And what he said was he goes, I had a prospect come in last night. She came in, took the tour, looked around, and she joined. And he says, I went over to welcome her and to thank her and shake her hand and all that. And she looked up at me and she goes, man, you guys have a great place here. You're the best kept secret in town. And he goes, man, Jim, I don't want to be the best kept secret in town. Okay. And so what are we doing to get known? Okay. If it's a company, what's your plan of action? If you're an individual salesperson watching this, what are you doing to get known? I'll give you an example. I'll talk to you like you're a salesperson watching this right now. Your power base, and here's how I define your power base. This is everybody you know. Everybody that knows you, loves you, trusts you, wants you to be successful is probably everybody in your phone. Does everybody in your phone know what you do for a living? Do they know? Have you contacted every one of them and offered them a free week if that kind of fits what your company does? Most haven't. Okay, first place I start. Why would I start chasing down strangers when I probably have, hundreds of people on my phone that I can get in here right now? And, one of the pushbacks I get on that sometimes, well, Jim, I can't sell my friends. Well, sure you can. Can you solve their problem? Do you have the best gym to solve their problem? Is now the best time to do it? The first sale we have to make is the one to us, right? That's a whole other maybe topic that we can get into. Number 9, our competition is better. Who says? Okay, our competition is better. So here's the first thing you want to do. Let's quit comparing in that sense, okay? Let's look at this and say, hey, what do we do better than anybody else? This is what you promote. What do we do better than anybody else? And when you look at the market, you look what's being done, where can you fill a gap? What's not being done that you can start doing? What's not being done that you can start doing? Because for sure, I know this without even meeting you at this point. One of the things your competition doesn't have is you. Look at differentiation. What do you do that's so different? And then get this word out. Get this word out. Okay? You're using a CRM, an individual. Hopefully you have, hundreds and even thousands of leads as a company, as an individual. Make sure we're using that to market. You want people to know who you are. Write a blog. If you're, a gym, write a blog on a regular basis. If you're individual salesperson, set up your own blog, like on blogspot.com. Google. You can get your own blog going. People know who you are. Become that celebrity, fitness person in your area. Okay. And then number 10 of the top 10 gym sales excuses that need to stop. I've been busy with other things. I've been busy with other things. So here's the deal, okay? Sales is the oxygen to your business. It's the oxygen to your business. If you're a gym owner and you don't have sales, you're cutting off the oxygen supply. If you're an individual salesperson, you don't have sales, you're cutting off your oxygen supply. Okay, sales is oxygen. What would happen if in the room you're sitting in right now, ever so slowly that oxygen got taken out of it? It wouldn't be good, would it? That's the same thing that happens when we're not making sales. You need to view it that way. Okay? And, sales is what drives this. Sales is what make it work. Sales is what allows you to give this great customer service, to solve problems, to provide solutions. I mean, look around you right now in the room you're sitting in. Look around. Everything you see was sold by somebody to somebody. Okay? And the whole secret to it is solve problems, provide solutions. But no, sales is the oxygen for what you're trying to do. So folks, 10 common gym sales excuses that need to stop. Take a look at them. Choose to be accountable. You'll notice a gigantic difference in how your business starts to perform. So folks, my name is Jim Thomas. Appreciate you being here today. If you've not yet done so, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Consider becoming a member. And then to learn more about me and my company and how we can take your business to that next level, and in numerous ways where you can save money and cut costs, please check out those links below. And we'll look forward to seeing y'all in that next video.